Scientists looked closely at 3,200 breakfast foods to see how well they could build muscle in older people. Only 8 made the final list. And here's the surprising part. Eggs did not make the list. For many years, we've believed eggs were the best muscle food. But newer studies from food science journals show a problem. After age 60, your muscles develop what scientists call anabolic resistance. This means your muscles are actually starving even though you think you were giving them enough protein. The companies that sell protein powder will not tell you this. Why? Because these 8 powerful foods cost less than $2 for one serving. Strong older people don't need expensive powders, and that hurts the company's sales. Today, I will show you the 8 breakfast foods that are proven to rebuild muscle after 60. Food number 5 has a special building block, an amino acid, that helped muscle growth by 47% in trials. And food number 8 was so shocking that scientists repeated the test 3 times. They couldn't believe one spoonful had more protein than a chicken breast. But first, let me explain why your current breakfast might actually be causing you to lose muscle faster. Then I'll tell you what to eat instead, starting tomorrow morning. Stay until the very end because I will also give you a complete 7-day breakfast meal plan that costs less than $3 a day. Here is the difficult truth that your doctor often doesn't mention. Starting around age 30, your body begins to lose muscle mass. But here is the serious part. Studies in medical books show that after age 60, this muscle loss speeds up a lot. We are talking about losing 3% of your muscle each year. By age 80, up to 50% of people have what scientists call sarcopenia. That is the medical word for severe muscle loss due to getting older. Let me give you a better idea of these numbers. Studies show that between ages 60 and 70, about 5 to 13% of older people have serious muscle loss. But by age 80 and later, that number jumps up to 11 to 50%. And this is not just about looking weak. Losing muscle is directly linked to falling, which is the main cause of accidental death in older people. It is also linked to broken bones, losing your ability to live alone, and even memory loss. But here's the good news that the studies also prove. Your muscles, no matter your age, can still grow stronger. Scientists at top universities have shown that even 90-year-olds can build muscle with the correct food plan. The key is a nutrient called leucine. Leucine is one of 9 essential amino acids, but it's very important. It is the master switch that tells your muscles to start building. Without enough leucine at a meal, your body basically ignores the protein you just ate. Research from the University of Texas found that older adults need at least 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal just to turn on muscle building. If you miss that amount, your muscles go hungry. That is exactly why these 8 breakfast foods are so powerful. They are not just high in protein. They give your aging muscles the specific amino acids they really need. Let's start now and pay close attention to number 5 because what researchers found about it completely changed what we thought we knew about plant-based proteins. Number 1, and this should be in your fridge right now, Greek yogurt. But wait, not just any yogurt. I'm talking specifically about Greek yogurt. And here is why that difference matters. 1 cup of Greek yogurt gives you about 17 to 20 grams of protein. But most importantly, it has roughly 2.5 grams of leucine. Remember that number? You need at least 2.5 grams to flip the muscle building switch. Greek yogurt reaches that amount in a single serving. It is quickly taken in, reaching your muscles fast, but most of it is casein protein, and this is the secret weapon for older adults. Studies in the British Journal of Nutrition showed that eating casein before sleep greatly improved muscle repair while you rest. Think of casein as a slow-release muscle fuel that feeds your body for up to 7 hours. One scientist said it was like having a personal IV drip of muscle-building food while you sleep. And there's more. Greek yogurt gives you calcium for your bones, healthy probiotics for your stomach, and B vitamins for energy. All this in $1.50 serving. But here is the major mistake most people make with Greek yogurt that ruins their results. I will share that mistake after we talk about food number 4, so keep watching. Number 2, cottage cheese. If you have been avoiding this because of how it feels in your mouth, you are about to change your mind. Here is a fantastic fact. A study from Florida State University found that eating cottage cheese before bed had the same muscle-building benefits as expensive casein protein powder. Same good effects, much lower cost. 1 cup of cottage cheese holds about 28 grams of protein and around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, going over that key minimum amount I mentioned. But here is what makes cottage cheese uniquely helpful for older people. 80% of the protein in cottage cheese is casein. When you eat it, your body releases those building blocks or amino acids slowly over many hours. Scientists have measured this release of amino acids lasting 6 to 7 hours from just 1 serving. Why is this important after age 60? While you sleep, your body is in a state of fasting, and muscle breakdown speeds up. Cottage cheese basically creates a protective shield, feeding your muscles all night long. A food expert from Cleveland Clinic explained that casein protein gives your cells amino acids steadily over a longer time, helping muscles heal instead of breaking down. If the texture is what bothers you, try blending cottage cheese into thick drinks, smoothies. Add cinnamon and berries, or make it savory with herbs and use it as a dip. Now, foods 3 and 4 will probably surprise you, especially if you avoid fish for breakfast. But wait until you hear what food number 5 did in medical trials. Scientists truly could not believe the results. Number 3, and I know what you're thinking, sardines for breakfast? Please stay with me because what I'm about to tell you could completely change how you approach morning protein. 1 small can of sardines gives you about 23 grams of high-quality protein. That is more than 3 eggs. But protein is only the start of the story. Sardines are one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids on Earth, giving you around 1.2 grams per serving. And here is why this matters for muscle growth. A big review of studies published in the journal Nutrients looked at many trials on omega-3s in muscle in older adults. They found that taking omega-3 supplements of more than 2 grams daily helped people gain a noticeable amount of muscle mass. See, one hidden reason for losing muscle after 60 is a lasting low-level swelling or inflammation. Omega-3s are nature's fighters against inflammation. They decrease the making of inflammatory molecules while increasing compounds that fight swelling. Less inflammation means better muscle recovery, which means more muscle growth. And here's the best part. A can of sardines costs about $1.50 to $3. Compare that to fish oil pills and a protein powder. You would spend $40 or more for similar good effects. One more thing about sardines that no one talks about. They are also one of the fish with the lowest mercury levels available. The FDA says they are a best choice seafood for this exact reason. Try crushing sardine on whole grain toast with a squirt of lemon or mix them into scrambled eggs. The taste is milder than you might think, especially if you buy them packed in olive oil. Number 4, oatmeal. Before you say, but oatmeal is only carbs, let me show you what the studies really say. Oatmeal has a special type of fiber called beta-glucan. A surprising study published in a sports nutrition journal found something unexpected. Athletes who added beta-glucan to their diet for just 4 weeks showed important increases in grip strength, arm strength, and upper body muscle mass. Wait, a fiber that builds muscle? Here is how it works. Beta-glucan turns on something called the creatine signaling pathway in your body. It also lessens the swelling caused by exercise, helping your muscles heal faster between workouts. But there is a smart way to use oatmeal that makes its effects much stronger. When you mix oatmeal with a protein source high in leucine like Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, you get a much better combined effect. The slow-release carbs from oatmeal help move amino acids into your muscles more effectively. 1 cup of cooked oatmeal gives you about 5 to 6 grams of protein by itself. That's not enough, alone, but add Greek yogurt on top. You're now looking at 25 plus grams of protein with the best leucine levels. Plus, oatmeal is incredibly cheap. A container costs just a few dollars and lasts for weeks. Now, remember, I promised to tell you the Greek yogurt mistake that ruins results. Here it is. Choosing flavored Greek yogurt. Many flavored kinds have 15 to 20 grams of added sugar. That sugar rush actually stops muscle protein synthesis from working well. Stick to plain Greek yogurt and add your own berries or a small amount of honey. Okay, we are about to reach the most important part of this video. Food number 5 changed everything scientists thought they knew about plant proteins and older muscles.
This is the one you will want to take a picture of. Number 5. And this is the one I have been leading up to. Hemp seeds. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but let me be absolutely clear. Hemp seeds have almost zero THC. These are a food product, not something to get high from. And what they do for building muscle is amazing. Hemp seeds are one of the very few plant foods that give you all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to create muscle. Scientists call them a complete protein. Just 3 tablespoons, of hemp seeds give you about 10 grams of protein that is easy to digest. But here is what makes them special for older adults specifically. Hemp protein has been shown to be 91 to 98% digestible. That means your body can actually use almost all of the building blocks, not just pass them through. But wait, there is more to this story. Hemp seeds have the perfect mix of omega-6 to omega-3 fats, around 3 to 1. Scientists think this is the best mix for lowering swelling or inflammation. Remember what I said about inflammation and losing muscle? Hemp seeds fight that problem directly. They also contain all 3 branch-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which work together to start muscle building and speed up recovery. Here is the beauty of hemp seeds. They are easy to use in many ways and have almost no taste. Sprinkle them on your oatmeal, mix them into thick drinks, smoothies, add them to yogurt. You won't even notice they are there, but your muscles certainly will. A bag of hemp seeds costs $8 to $12 and lasts a month or more. That's just pennies per serving for a complete protein source with anti-swelling benefits. If you mix hemp seeds with Greek yogurt and oatmeal, you have just created what I call the perfect older person's muscle breakfast. Complete amino acids, protein that releases slowly, fats that fight inflammation, and fiber that keeps blood sugar steady. All for under $3. Now, food number 6 is going to cause some debate. It is a fermented food that some people do not eat, but the science behind it for muscle and brain health is very strong. And food number 8, the amount of protein literally shocked scientists. Number 6, tempeh. If you have never tried this fermented soy product, you are missing out on one of the most powerful muscle-building foods available to older people. Let me clear up a common mistake first. Tempeh is not tofu. While both come from soybeans, tempeh is made from whole fermented beans pressed into a firm block. This process of fermenting is what makes it so useful. Here's what fermentation does. First, it greatly improves how well you can digest the protein. The good bacteria break down things that would otherwise stop your body from taking in the protein. Second, it creates probiotics and prebiotics that help your stomach health. New research shows a direct link between a healthy gut and muscle creation. Scientists call it the gut-muscle axis. A study published in the journal Nutrients looked at tempeh specifically and found it has a big potential for lowering muscle damage and improving strength after working out. One 3-ounce serving of tempeh provides about 16 to 18 grams of complete protein. It's also full of manganese, copper, and phosphorus, minerals needed for strong bones and proper muscle function. And here's something really interesting. Research on older groups found that eating tempeh regularly was linked to improved thinking skills. The fermentation creates compounds that help both your muscles and your brain. Tempeh has a mild, nutty, earthy taste. For breakfast, try slicing it thin and cooking it in a pan with a little olive oil. Add smoked paprika for a bacon-like taste, but with much more protein and zero harmful substances. It costs around $3 to $4 per package and gives you many servings. You're looking at less than 50 cents for a complete protein source with anti-swelling benefits. Now, food number 6 is going to cause some debate. It is a fermented food that some people do not eat, but the science behind it for muscle and brain health is very strong. And food number 8, the amount of protein literally shocked scientists. Number 6, tempeh. If you have never tried this fermented soy product, you are missing out on one of the most powerful muscle-building foods available to older people. Let me clear up a common mistake first. Tempeh is not tofu. While both come from soybeans, tempeh is made from whole fermented beans pressed into a firm block. This process of fermenting is what makes it so useful. Here's what fermentation does. First, it greatly improves how well you can digest the protein. The good bacteria break down things that would otherwise stop your body from taking in the protein. Second, it creates probiotics and prebiotics that help your stomach health. New research shows a direct link between a healthy gut and muscle creation. Scientists call it the gut-muscle axis. A study published in the journal Nutrients looked at tempeh specifically and found it has a big potential for lowering muscle damage and improving strength after working out. One 3-ounce serving of tempeh provides about 16 to 18 grams of complete protein. It's also full of manganese, copper, and phosphorus, minerals needed for strong bones and proper muscle function. And here's something really interesting. Research on older groups found that eating tempeh regularly was linked to improved thinking skills. The fermentation creates compounds that help both your muscles and your brain. Tempeh has a mild, nutty, earthy taste. For breakfast, try slicing it thin and cooking it in a pan with a little olive oil. Add smoked paprika for a bacon-like taste, but with much more protein and zero harmful substances. It costs around $3 to $4 per package and gives you many servings. You're looking at less than 50 cents for a complete protein source with anti-swelling benefits.
Number 7, quinoa. This ancient seed, yes, it is technically a seed, not a grain, was so important to the Incas that they called it the mother grain. In 2013, the United Nations set aside a whole year for quinoa because of how incredibly good it is for you. And for building muscle after 60, it provides something most plant foods cannot. Quinoa is a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, 1 cup of cooked quinoa gives you about 8 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. But here is what makes quinoa especially valuable. It is high in lysine, an amino acid that most grains do not have enough of. Lysine is essential for fixing body tissues and growing muscle. Research shows quinoa has a protein value of about 73%. That is almost the same as beef at 74%. This means your body can actually absorb and use most of the protein, unlike some plant foods where much of it goes through unused. And for anyone with stomach sensitivity, quinoa is naturally gluten-free. For breakfast, cook quinoa like oatmeal with milk or a milk substitute. Add cinnamon, nuts, and berries. Or make it savory with cooked vegetables and a fried egg on top. A bag of quinoa costs $4 to $6 and gives you many meals. You're looking at less than 50 cents for a complete protein source. Okay, we have reached food number 8, and I saved the most shocking one for last. When scientists tested the protein amount of this food, they had to repeat the test 3 times because they did not trust the results. What they found changes everything about cheap protein for older people. Number 8, spirulina. Yes, blue-green algae. And before you leave, let me show you why this superfood name is actually true. Spirulina contains 60 to 70% protein by weight. Let me put that into simple terms. Chicken breast is about 31% protein. Eggs are roughly 13% protein. Beef is around 26% protein.
Spirulina is 60 to 70% protein. This is why scientists kept repeating their tests. No other whole food comes close to having this much protein packed in. And it is not just the amount. It is the quality. Spirulina gives you all essential amino acids your body needs to create muscle. A full review published in the Journal of Dietary Supplements looked at spirulina's effects on how well athletes performed. The findings: spirulina makes the body better at fighting damage, stops muscle damage caused by exercise, and may speed up recovery. One especially interesting study found that broken down spirulina protein, essentially pre-digested, increased muscle building while also reducing muscle breakdown. It worked in both ways at once. Spirulina contains phycocyanin, the substance that gives it its blue-green color. This acts as a powerful substance that fights swelling. Research on rugby players found that adding spirulina to their diet prevented swelling caused by exercise and damage to their muscles. Now, here is the useful part. You do not need much spirulina. Studies showing good effects use small amounts from 1 to 8 grams daily. A good spirulina powder costs $15 to $25 and lasts for months. Add 1 teaspoon to your morning thick drink, smoothie. Mix it with banana and peanut butter. Those flavors completely hide the algae taste. Or mix it into your oatmeal. Imagine this breakfast: oatmeal with Greek yogurt, hemp seeds, and a teaspoon of spirulina. You have just eaten about 35 to 40 grams of complete protein with the perfect level of leucine, omega-3s that fight swelling, energy that releases slowly, and good bacteria that help your gut. Total cost? Under $3. These 8 foods: Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, sardines, oatmeal, hemp seeds, tempeh, quinoa, and spirulina, are the most cost-effective, science-backed choices for building muscle at breakfast for older adults. Now, if you feel like this is too much information, let me make it simple for you. If I had to choose only 3 of these foods to start with tomorrow morning, here's what I would pick. Greek yogurt. It hits the leucine minimum needed in 1 serving. It provides both fast and slow-releasing proteins and costs about $1.50. This is your muscle-building base. Hemp seeds. Complete amino acids, anti-swelling omega fatty acids, almost no taste. Sprinkle them on everything. 3 spoonfuls, tablespoons. Done. Oatmeal. The beta-glucan fiber supports muscle strength while keeping your blood sugar steady. Combine it with Greek yogurt and hemp seeds for the ultimate muscle breakfast. Now, as I promised, here is your simple 7-day muscle-building breakfast plan. The total weekly cost for all 7 breakfasts is about $20 to $25. That's under $3.50 per day for breakfasts that build muscle, give you complete protein, and fight swelling. Remember the key idea from today. After 60, your muscles need at least 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine at each meal to turn on the muscle-building switch. These 8 foods make reaching that amount easy and cheap. And here's one more thing the research stresses. A study from the Gill University that followed over 1,700 people found that spreading protein evenly across 3 meals instead of eating most of it at dinner led to better muscle strength. Breakfast is no longer just an extra meal. It is your first chance of the day to build muscle. If you want stronger legs, better balance, and the freedom to live life your way, you now have the map. But knowing is not the same as doing, so here's my challenge to you. Pick 1 food from this list and add it to your tomorrow morning breakfast. Just 1. Make it a habit, then add another. Write a comment below telling me which food you're starting with. I read every single comment and I will personally answer your questions. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I put out new health videos based on science every week specifically for older people who refuse to accept getting old as an excuse to not feel good. And speaking of refusing to slow down, in my next video, I'm revealing the 5 worst breakfast foods that actually speed up muscle loss after 60.
Number 3 is in almost every American kitchen right now. Click here to watch that video now because some of the foods on that list will shock you. Until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.